8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
Joy Seekers are live.
Hello, everybody. What did you think of that, then, Jake?
I was just sorting out my live chat on the phone. I'm thinking, did I just see a bathtub then? So I kind of missed it, really.
I told him I was actually going to put the flyby guy's logo on it.
Oh, you should have. Yeah.
Oh, dear. Anyway,
Stephen's going to build me a real life size one
That's
day.
a copyright restriction from Carolyn, though.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Alongside of Caroline.
There you go. Drive-by guy. Anyway, we're back. Have you missed
We're
us?
back.
Because Happy New Year to
Happy
you
New
all.
Year.
And
Happy New Year. Yeah.
Happy New Year.
let's
Merry
hope that.
Christmas.
Well, I will say let's hope 2023 is better than 2022. But can it get any worse? Well, who knows? In the
Oh,
UK,
it
we
could.
never know. We have to choose. We're trying to line up the prime ministers for this year.
You've got to
Line
pick
up
about
what?
9 then, haven't you?
We're actually thinking about what we can actually do is actually get them on all the ones that reject you, get them on the show. Come on, over chat. Well,
You know, one of the things that we can say, though, is that both the UK and the US are having a contest to see who can have the most ridiculous, absurd politics in all of the world.
yeah.
Become the laughing stock.
Oh, yes.
Really
Yeah.
I've got a funny feeling, Mark, because we might be winning, mate.
I don't know if you just saw the they were duking it out in Congress a couple days ago.
Yeah. Was it 14 elections?
Yeah, I saw that.
15.
Yeah.
15 in total, wasn't it? That's crazy.
Right,
Yeah.
let's have a look what we've got in the chat room. We've got Johnny Drone Flyer, Johnny, Captain America, and
Caroline.
Lauren, and Brian, and Caroline. What do you think of the intro, Caroline? Keep it or
I just like that.
Yeah, that's
Happy
is right,
birthday.
Caroline. I did mean I had 2 attempts at that, and that's why I put a question mark. I got fed up with I typed here's in there and put left ear out, and then tried it again, done exactly the same thing the second time. I thought, you know what, forget it. Here's Johnny. I think you meant yes, you did. Jerry, how you doing, Jerry? Kim. I'm Kim. Greetings everyone and Happy New Year to you and your families.
Hello,
And
Kim.
yourself. And here's Chuck
Yeah.
and
Hey, Laurie.
Steve Elder. How you doing, Steve? How you all right? Facebook user. Happy New Year, everyone. No, it's could be
Yeah.
Ross. It could be lots of people. No, don't tell
Ross.
me. Well,
Dunno.
yeah, so I'm just reading the message. I'm just watching a video on of Steve up in Sheffield. He put his Avatar, he went through a tyre, but it only went halfway through. It was full of water. Oops.
Oh, I haven't watched that one yet. I saw
Yeah,
it.
I saw the thumbnail, but I haven't watched it.
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Hmm.
Nathan.
Mark, how you doing, Mark?
How's
Hey,
the
Mark.
weather in Manchester, Mark?
Right, I think we're up to date now. I think. Well, if I didn't say
Yeah.
hello anyway, and
Bye guys are in the chat.
Flyby. Yeah. How's he in the chat?
Really?
In the chat, look, it says hey everyone.
All the way from Finland?
yeah. Well, I was reading on there? 15 elections for a speaker.
That was in the US. Yeah.
Oh,
That was 15, was it? Yeah.
I missed someone. Hang on, bring Scott. Bring Scott. Steve, here he is. He's there.
Yeah.
I need to know what happened. You got to tell me, or you
I've
keep
got
me
to
in
watch it
suspense.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Right, we got a lot. Oh, don't tell one more, Tanya. Hi, Tanya. How you
Tanya.
doing?
Oh, it's Tanya.
Tanya got a new drone.
Did she?
Yes, she did.
What's
What
she
did
got?
she get?
She got an Autel drone this time, a Nano Plus.
Mm.
Right, so much to do, so little time to do it. So before we run any further, let's bring out a special guest on street. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's welcome this week's Drone Seekers live show special guest.
He's all the way from United States to Finland. Right.
Hey, Finland, though.
I guess you probably don't know where you are half the time, do you? I mean, you go away.
I still actually I'm still waking up in the morning and I still don't know where I am. I've said no. It's true. I've had this. I said to my wife this morning because it's really dark here in Finland. It's really dark. We don't have much sunlight, and it's really cold here. And of course, in the morning when you wake up, it's dark. So I literally have no clue where I am, and it takes me about.
How much sunlight do you actually get this time of the year?
Well, of course, now it's now 8th of January, so we're now at the happy side of spring. So as we say in Scotland, the nights are fair drawing out, because it's getting lighter, So it's actually getting lighter now,
Brian, I'm sure he's in the chat. So.
That Finland is the happiest nation on earth. It's true.
It's true. We are the happiest nation, and we've been winning this happiest nation on earth for now. Is it 6-7 years now? Is it? I think it's been.
Years in a row. Yeah.
Talk about winning things. I think you won this award for this for your was it a dragon display?
Oh, the tiger.
Was it
the tiger? Yeah, the tiger. Yeah. We did. We that's actually the second award that we've won for it. But we just won an award a couple of weeks ago for the best drone light show of 2022, which I'm very happy about actually, because it was a stunning light show. I have to say, even if there were other drone light shows that were really good and fantastic, and I would have to say that honestly, from that show, we deserved it. It was. I'm not going to be humble about it.
No,
it was a tough show. It was hard. It was huge, and all the crowds that were there. I mean, we had 1.5 million people watching the shows at the time, so it was huge. And I don't think I'm ever going to be able to top that. I mean, everything that I've done over everything that I've done for everything that I'll do, I don't know. I don't think I can top that. I think that's going to be my shining moment.
Well, Stephen, there was politics involved too, right? I mean, you had to do some politicking to get that going.
There were. Yeah, there was. I'm not sure how much I can talk about that online actually, but.
So we'll edit all the bits out afterwards.
But there was quite a bit of geopolitics involved in that show, and it was quite. I've been talking about this with a few other channels, and at some point, I think I'm going to have to write a book about these shows and stuff, about stuff that goes on, because it would literally make your hair stand on end, except Marcus, of course. But it would make your hair stand on end. Some of the things that goes on there, because you see the shows as they are, and they look incredible. But what goes on behind that sometimes, or quite a lot of time, actually, is quite big and quite stressful, and a lot of drama. But at the end of the day, you see what you see, and the crowds are happy, and I'm happy, so that's all that matters.
Now, talking about, I've got one of your videos. It was a drone light show training certificate. What was it? Was that like the test, as it were, to do it?
Yeah. So we've been working with Intel over the years. So that's what we've been doing since the very beginning. We've been working with the Intel show. They, in a sense, they outsourced all their operations mainly to us. So there was a couple of companies in the US, but we were the only ones in Europe who were handling Europe, Middle East, Africa, Asia, and all the rest of it. So, so we had all those to work with. But then we were approached by Dronisos, who are a drone light show company in France.
Right. Yeah.
They do all this stuff at Disneyland and and Paris, and they were doing the shows at Dollywood this year as well. So they had contacted us asking would we be interested to work with them. So it was like, yeah, of course. So they offered us the World Cup shows that have just happened. So we went out to we went out to Bordeaux. Went out to Bordeaux to do the training, and that's what the video is. So the video is all the training that we were doing in Bordeaux. And the nice thing is that they made the Flyby Guys logo at the end of the exam and that's what the show that we done, which was actually really nice. So it was 600 drones in the Flyby Guys logo, which it costs a lot of money to do that. I mean, if you have a company that would book that and have it planned and stuff, it's like mega money. So having them do that just
time, isn't it?
It's time, and they're really busy. They're doing a lot of stuff. So I was really quite touched at their thought that they could do that for us.
Let's have a look at the video. There we go.
Hey everyone, how you doing? So I'm currently in the Middle East at the moment where we're on drone operations, and just to give you an update on what we've been doing recently. So we've just partnered up with Dronesos. Dronesos are a French drone light show company. So we're now working with them to deliver drone light shows. So just to give you a quick update, I'm going to just show you some video of behind the scenes when we were on our training. And then we've done some really nice animations, especially at the end of this video. Check out the animation because it's pretty cool. Probably the coolest animation we've ever done. So hopefully we'll see you soon. We'll give you an update about what we're doing here in the Middle East, and we'll talk to you then. Enjoy the rest of this and fly safe.
Yeah.
That's really good.
That is
That's, I see
awesome.
what you mean about the logo at the end.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was because that was part of another show, so they added our logo into the end of another show which we were doing, which was part of our, let's say, exam. I think we had done, I think we had flown, I think we had 2 shows each. There was 4 of us, so it was 8, 9, 10. I think we'd done 10 shows per day during
Wow.
that training session, and it was like a quick turnaround.
Just
Wow.
Thursday, I could get a drone and do this with a prop, so I can do that.
We always need people. It's I think this is one of the great myths. I mean, people look at what we're doing, and of course, it really is. It's really hard work. If you like hard work, if you like working with drones, if you like hard work, if you do all that, then there's no reason why you can't get into doing this kind of stuff. Because it's very fulfilling. It's kind of been involved in the entertainment industry, but also doing also aviation. So it's a mix of both. But when you do the show and you hear the people and you get it's all worth it.
But when you say it's hard work, I mean the thing is, it is hard work.
Yeah,
But
but
you
you
say,
love doing it, innit?
when you see the appreciation you get, then it's worth it, isn't it?
There's a couple
Absolutely.
of questions that Gary's asked.
Oh, hang on. Hang
He
on,
said,
these are the questions, hang on.
what steps do you take in the event of catastrophic failure? And that one about which drones.
Okay, so if we have
Ooh.
catastrophic failure, which we've never had catastrophic failures, but we have had
Shotgun.
we have had times where we've had wind come through and take out some of the drones and stuff. So that does happen. So but I mean, a catastrophic failure, we've had radio interference, we've had GPS interference.
Yes, we had this conversation before. We were talking about that.
Yeah, and those, in a way, they are catastrophic. But we can try to minimize. It doesn't stop the show, but it makes the show look really bad. It makes the show look really bad, because if you have GPS interference, the drones will just want to come home, or they might fall out of the sky. If you have radio interference, like you would do with any other drone, the drone will return to home. So if you've got 300, 400, 500 drones up there, and you have radio interference, and all those drones say, actually, I don't have any.
Nothing. One of them.
Thinking about it.
I'm just going to go home.
Return home. I'm going for.
And you see half of the show leave, and you're kind of like, okay, so I've got some explaining to do here, So,
fly, my guy, just says fly.
Yeah,
I've got a question for you. So,
yeah.
do you, when that drone takes off, is it pre-programmed to do that, whatever the show is?
Yep.
Like when you upload a waypoint mission to a DJI drone or something, the drone already has its instructions.
Yeah. Yep. It does. And the drones are not self-aware, so it's not a swarm like you would think of a swarm would be. So if you think of a drone swarm, with what, if you think in the military sense of a drone swarm, those drones are aware of each other. So they know they're next to each other. They know they're above or below. With drone light shows, that's not the case. They have a pre-programmed flight to do what they do. So they take off in the manner that they do. But and this is what we have to do. So we have to estimate the launch and landing time. So based on the airfield layout, to make sure that we get the optimal time in the air, we have to program. We have to make sure that they're in the right place, to make sure that we have the right launch and landing time, to make sure that when they get back, we have no battery issues. Because if you have them in the wrong place, if you have the drones take off at the wrong time, and drones are sitting up there for too long waiting on other drones coming up. So all these things we have to think about. So there's quite a bit of mathematics involved. So we really have to think about, it's all about timing. It's all about timing. You know?
Steve, you always say, do you get many collisions? Man, from what you're saying, obviously they're aware of what's around.
They are not aware of what's around them. So you can have collisions, but that's usually down to wind.
Okay.
So if you have a gust of wind that goes through, and
then they'll all move out of place a bit.
Yeah, and you know, so that's why we take care as to that we don't fly when it's too windy. If there's X amount of wind, of course, and we always do a wind test. So every show we do a wind test, and we know the limitations of the drones.
Yeah.
So we know
what drones are they? That was another question.
Someone said, what is your drone of choice for your displays?
Intel. My drone. Well, we have been using the Intel drone, and the Intel drone is now Nova Sky Stories, which is owned by which is owned by Kimball Musk, the brother of Elon, and we were doing the show at New Year's Eve. So I was doing that for them. When we work with Ronnie Sauce, they have Parrot drones, so it's the Parrot Anafi drone. So they take off the light. They take off the camera and put the light on. And it's actually a very good drone. Actually, it's actually very.
So none
good.
of those drones in the sky have got cameras on. They've all just got lights.
No, yeah, they just have lights.
Are you ever not tempted to leave a camera on or a 360 on there just to get?
Do you know what happens if we do that? Do you know what happens? Then you have a hole in the show.
Right.
You have a hole. So then when you have when you have this nice
light display
grid, and it's like, and
the missing one.
Yeah, you can really see one missing, you know.
We just blame Jackie. So Jackie put the camera on this shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, are there when those drones are up in the air, do you have a control panel that you can monitor each individual drone? Individual drone. So you have to have enough operators that are looking, and each operator is probably looking at 10 drones, 20 drones?
No, we have one operator watching all drones.
Whoa.
We have one operator watching all drones, and then we also have a pilot
with 400 controls going up.
Think about it. Well, think about it with 1,500. Then you have a job on your hands.
But how big is your charging bank with all those banks? It must be huge. I'm just thinking,
Yeah, no, it's a good question, Terry, because when we work with the Intel system, which is now the Nova system, they have launch pads, and those launch pads charge the drones at the same time. So they sit on these launch pads, and they're just constantly charging.
With charge finally drones, be more wins to worry about coming up with kicks.
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, so how long does it actually take to charge?
It depends. So it depends how long they've been used for, how long the animation. So if you want to do, so with the Parrot drones, we have got enough batteries for 3 shows. So we have loads of batteries there. So if by chance that we have the drones on the ground ready to go, and the customer says we need to, we have to delay the show by maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes. We go, okay, we need to change all the batteries because but if we can delay the show by 10 minutes. Well, we have a separate team for that.
All right,
so we have a separate team.
That's the team you're on, Jackie.
Oh dear, yeah. Be running
yeah. We have a team.
I'll be on one of those big one wheels to do it at high speed.
F1
I know how it's done.
Like an F1 pit stop.
Yeah, it's like that, Terry. It's like that because we have certain procedures that go through. We might need some maintenance along the way before the drones launch, and we just say to the guys, look, they, as soon as the drone lights up a certain color or whatever, they know exactly what they have to do in order to, do certain procedures. So it's but that's what it's all down to when it comes to operations, is that you have a team who work together, and you don't have to tell them what to do, so they know what they have to do, and that's when you have a team that work together really well, and things are very easy,
Right. So
how close
obviously I
they
think
look like they're about that close.
They're about I don't know, they're about half a meter from each other. It depends, you know.
It's
They
quite a
can
bit,
be.
isn't it? Half a meter. I mean, I thought they'd be a lot closer than that, but it's like pixels on a TV
Yeah,
screen, isn't it?
yeah, and it also depends how the animation is as well. So if the animation is quite if it's quite aggressive, and what I mean by that is the drones are moving around a lot by getting into certain positions.
Right.
If the drones are if the drones are quite aggressive, then that can put more pressure on them, you know. So you can hear certain drones working really hard, and there's other drones that are just lazy and just do what they do. you know. So, and you really learn to understand certain animations. So we can have some animations that are really quite tough on the drones, and then you'll have another animation which is quite easy, and so therefore it's a bit more of a relaxation when you do that animation. But if you do the other one, you like have to be a bit careful here and watch those drones up there. You know, listen for them. You know, so
You're on your toes.
Caroline said, I'm
Yes.
guessing the batteries are more in line a Mavic.
And an XT60.
Yeah, they do. And you know, so you know the full animation with the Parrot Anafi. You know, we have the drones on the ground for about an hour, 45 minutes before they launch, so they're sitting there ready to go. They don't have any lights on them, but they'll be on, and we launch we put the animation on there, and then they'll launch. They'll be in the air as well. Launch time and landing time plus the animation time will be about 15 minutes. So they can go down to about 90% sitting on the ground until they launch. So from about 90% or so, there's your parrot. There's your parrot.
Put it on your shoulder.
Is this Parrot Anafi? Is it?
It's not the same Anafi that you. This is the original.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This guy.
Oh,
This is a great
Kim
little
asked-
drone.
Kim asked the question
That was a
here.
challenge. You know, when you came up with Parrot, you know, to me it was a challenge. I knew I could come up with a drone.
Mm. Yeah.
I had to dig. It was at the bottom. It was at the bottom of the pile back here.
I think you should do another video about that drone and bring it out and let's see it fly.
Put some
Absolutely.
lights on
You
it.
should. You
Absolutely.
should.
Hey, it's
You should.
licensed. It's got the
Buy them 399 on them, pull them up in the sky and think spell
Hey, let me tell you, all kidding aside, this is one of the most underrated consumer drones there ever was. This thing is
They are really good drones. They're
on that about 500 grams weight wise.
Yeah, it's heavier than it. I don't know if it's quite 500, but it's heavier than 250, but not terribly heavy.
Oh, it's a good drone. I've really grown to, let's say, appreciate that drone a lot. You know, the Parrot brand. I've grown to appreciate it a lot.
Shame it's Wi-Fi control limiting.
That's true.
True.
Wi-Fi, but...
There is this question here from Kim, who's asking,
Yes.
does the prop turbulence disturb other drones? I'll say no. No, that is not the case. However, I do have an interesting story or interesting fact from the World Cup. So any of you who are watching the World Cup, I know the England fans didn't watch it for too long, but
we could say something there.
That's just how it went. We were at Lusail Stadium, so we were based at Lusail, where the final was, and there was a lot of games there, and there was a lot of media attention. So there was helicopters flying around a lot. Okay, and I had direct control over those helicopters because I was in direct contact with the Doha air traffic control. So when I seen these helicopters, they were basically doing circles around the entire area, you know, around the stadium, and then actually over the airfield and over the showbox where we were going to be flying. So I had to phone Doha air traffic control quite a few times to say, can you ask that damn helicopter pilot if he can just move away slightly, please?
Back
Because
off.
yeah, basically back off because we were our height was actually 100 meters, so our main height was 100 meters. Their height was 300 meters, so they were 200 meters above us. However, these were big helicopters. They were really big, heavy helicopters. So the turbulence from the blades was actually, I was very concerned about it, because I was watching, because I was watching another helicopter take off, and I seen even at 200 meters, and I had a rough guess at the height of it, there was still sand coming up from the ground. So I'm thinking, our drones are not going to like that. They're not going to like that, and it's not going to look very good if people are watching the show and all of a sudden the top drones just start. So I phoned Ohio TC and I asked them, I said, could you please ask the helicopter pilot if we can move away? So she's still on the phone with me, and then she gets onto the radio and she said, can you please, helicopter pilot, can you please move away? And she's explaining, and
away
then,
from the drones.
And then I can hear the pilot. I can then hear the pilot ask the cameraman. He's asking the guy, he says, do you mind if I move away because we have the drones down there? And he's going, oh man, oh yeah, because the guy was American, so he's going, oh man, yeah, okay, but like, hey, damn drones. It's my worst impression of it. So
that's not a bad American accent.
No, it's not bad. So it's like, yes, okay. So and then I just see I just see the helicopter move away, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Which was actually really good.
In your face.
But it's really, really good to know that when we're working with drones, when we're doing this, and when you do things properly, and you talk to the people and you ask nicely, manned aviation will just move away. It was like, yeah, that's good.
Gary asked a question.
Yeah, about
do you ever get rogue drone flyers? Obviously, people like us, shall I say, but not wouldn't do it.
It just seems
people like that is what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, I have an answer for this as well. Obviously, yes, we do. But actually, what happened in Doha is that during the World Cup is that they were really strict. They were very strict about all drones flying there. So you had to go through the Ministry of Interior if you had to fly, and then you had to also go through the air traffic control. So when we started to do the shows, I seen these drones in the air around, and of course I wasn't very happy because I knew that they were there and they shouldn't have been there. So we had these electric scooters, so I jumped on them and went round and found the drone pilot, and wasn't very happy. And I found out that these were actually news guys, so there were actually people working for CNN, Al Jazeera, Qatari TV, Kuwaiti TV. All the rest of it.
They got the permissions and everything.
They had permissions, but they hadn't communicated with me to say that they were in the area. However, what they done was all the news guys, all the news people, they actually created a WhatsApp group. And then they invited me to the WhatsApp group and said, tell us what to do. Tell us what to do.
Well, that's fair enough, isn't
it was great. It was really good because all I said to them was, please send me a pin location of where you are. Please send me your height and your radius where you're going to be. And they were like, yeah, okay. And then I would get all these. I would get these WhatsApp messages, with pin locations and saying it's me. So then we were doing the show. I could go, yep, that's Al Jazeera. Yep, that's CNN. That's Qatari. Yeah, it's okay,
Well, obviously, I'm trying to think. I've got a video here somewhere. Right, so this is basically a video. This is 2 years of drone light shows. So just a recap of what you've done. Over the last 2 years, as it says.
Yeah.
So let's watch it.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Drones are launching.
Brilliant, eh?
Hey, I have a question, Stephen.
Yep.
So have you ever thought of taking your drones and going out like in the Amazon bush and finding one of those tribes that's never seen a human?
Creating a big dog-like,
Yeah.
The logistics involved in that would be just unbelievable. I mean, on paper you kind of go, yeah, that'd be a great idea. But see, when it comes down to doing it, it's you need to take a team. You have to have generators. it's
you couldn't creep up on them, in other words.
No.
Yeah.
You could walk into that village with that mask on then, and they would think you were their deity.
Yeah. It's I've seen these things before. Let's do something like this. These shows are very complex. I mean, what you see there when we do the show is great. Everything around it, up until those drones launch, is a lot of work. There's so much involved. You've got days of rehearsing and planning and organizing, shouting. there's lots of that involved.
And the most important bit is spin the propeller.
Yeah. Always do the mech check. Always do mechanical check. Always do a mech check.
Mark's
yes.
question is, I think I know the answer to that, but I mean, how many colours do you have available? I guess it's RGB, so you've got
yeah. So you can do,
rainbow, so to speak.
Yeah, it's all RGB, so you can do as many as you want. There's thousands of colours that you can do there. So there's no end into sight.
So yeah, I mean that was 2 years. Obviously, you've got obviously the most recent one, well, apart from the 50 days over in the Middle East. Obviously, then the last one was Amsterdam.
Yeah, I literally just came back from Amsterdam a few days ago because when I was out in Qatar, we had the request to go to Amsterdam for New Year, and I was like, oh.
I bet you were looking forward to Christmas off.
It's quite difficult to. It was quite difficult to come home and relax. It was difficult because it was almost impossible, So, because I was away again, And when we got there, the weather wasn't great, and I knew the weather wasn't good long before. So I mean, even before Christmas, I knew the weather wasn't going to be good in Amsterdam, but we still go there anyway. And then a decision was made by the municipality to not have the show on New Year's Eve. Not only because of us, but also because the fireworks had a lower threshold of the weather. So they had a lower threshold of wind, even though we had quite a high threshold of wind. They had a lower threshold, and everything had to go hand in hand. So I was basically sitting in the hotel for days. I was like, just literally, just sitting there. I mean, I went out on New Year's Eve with one of the pilots. We went out and we. And we enjoyed ourselves in Amsterdam for New Year.
But it's a beautiful place. I love it.
Yeah, and it was packed. Yeah. It was so busy. But then we had the show on the 2nd, and it was a huge success. It was a great show. Actually, it was one of the nicest shows.
Yeah, well, we've got this. I've done this as a 2-part, not because I wanted to, because I had to. But let's watch part 1. There we go.
All right.
you're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give you my heart, 'cause you're a sky, 'cause you're a sky full of stars, 'cause you light up the path. I don't care, go on and tear me apart. I don't care if you do. carry on. Open your heart, set your mind at ease. Live your life and you'll be free. We're gonna rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising, rise, rise, rise. We're gonna rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising, rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising, rising,
Wow.
When's part 2 coming?
Not to come to the cinema near you.
I have to say that the FPV stuff was really good, but I was working really closely with the FPV pilot there, and they had cut down this FPV to make it faster and they could go for a lot more. But they done it, and I was saying to them, you do not fly through the center of that hole. You fly
Why don't they fly through it?
I bet they were tempted. I bet we got a couple of FPV pilots on here.
they were warned.
I'm curious about that FPV drone. Was it like one of those heavy lifter FPV drones that carries a big full-size DSLR or something else?
If everything was cut, I actually can't remember the name of it. I think I have a photo of it. And I can even send. I can I can send you a couple of images, Marcus, because they had everything was cut down. So they actually had a GoPro which they had cut down. So they stripped the GoPro down. Everything was stripped down. So to make everything is. Yeah. So it was a naked GoPro, and they put lenses in front of it and stuff. It was amazing stuff that they had done, and I've got some stuff I can show you.
So that video footage from the FPV drone was off of a GoPro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Just face it, GoPro. I mean, GoPros are damn good cameras, isn't they? I mean,
yeah, they are. And the good thing was. Or the amazing thing was we done that show once only. We didn't do a second take or anything. It was everything was done in one take. Well, because obviously you have to, because it's New Year, so you can't really.
Well, can you relight the fire? Can you re-pull the fireworks back in position? We can do it with our drones. Why can't you do it with the fireworks?
Hey, Carolyn could have done that. Carolyn could have done it.
Yeah.
So I think it's time in the show that everyone waits for, Caroline and Gary.
These moments.
So I guess it's that time. Ready.
And now it's time for Terry's Joke of the Week.
Well, it's the first one of a new year, so it might be a bit corny, but this chap's driving down the road when he runs over a rabbit. Poor little bunny.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. He slams on his brakes, gets out, walks up to the flattened bunny. The bunny's obviously expired, totally gone. Passing car slams on its brakes, screeches to a halt. The driver of that car runs up to the bunny, pulls out an aerosol can, and sprays the bunny with the aerosol spray. Bunny jumps up and runs a few feet and then stops. Turns round, waves his paw at the two men. Like that. Runs away a few more feet, stops, turns round, waves at the two men. Runs away a few more feet, stops, turns around and waves at the two men. Continues to do this until he's out of sight. First driver looks at the man with the aerosol can and says, "Wow, that is amazing. What's in that can?" The man looks at the can, reads the label and says, hair restorer,
Restorer.
with the permanent wave.
Terry's joke of the week.
It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work,
Doesn't
Marcus. No. You have to lay flattened on the road after being hit by a Corvette.
Oh, dear. So,
I read that the other day. I thought, oh, it's so corny. It's an old one, but I thought, no, that's good. I like that.
well, Caroline likes it. Yeah.
It's a good
Oh,
one.
thank you, Caroline.
So absolutely, but only if I can fly in the tunnel. You can't fly in the tunnel. No.
No.
He's always
He
said
won't let you.
no fly in the tunnels. You fly in the tunnels, you break the drones. They're all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, because I was actually officially pilot in command for that show, so I was the one who could say what they could do or what they couldn't do. So,
But I was thinking that tunnel though. Am I right in saying that tunnel was the drones? They're actually drones in the middle of that. I'm guessing they're just not.
no, there wasn't, and in fact, actually, this is quite a good point to raise because there are certain points where there are drones that you can't see that don't have lights on it. So you probably, if you watch that video again, you will see drones that are lit up by the fireworks that don't have lights on them,
right?
That are behind the animation. So
Why are they there then?
Well, they're
part of the show.
They're not part of that asset. So with
They light up later.
It's almost like having a TV screen, but only some of the pixels lit up. That's probably
Yeah.
So or they're in position for the next one.
Yeah.
So when you seen the 2023 and it was lit up, and then that lifted up, and then you seen the word love. So there were drones behind that.
Yeah. I see.
That were there. So, but those drones were not lit up, but they were there. And then of course when they left up. So, and that's what it takes to do these shows. And that's why that every time we work with an FPV pilot, we have to look at the show and say how many times are there drones that don't have lights on them because they can't just fly through. Because if there are drones that are not lit, they can't see them.
They don't see
and
them,
they're thinking, oh, there's a gap there. But there isn't a gap.
There's no gap there. No, there's no gap.
You go, peace.
Yeah. So,
but okay. So shall we watch part 2 then? Shall we?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's watch part 2. Here we go. If I find it, I've lost it. Hang on. Here.
Goed gedaan, maar ook zo fout gedaan. Als ik terugkijk in de tijd. Een lach met tranen, zo voel ik mij vandaag. Geproefd van het leven, zoveel vrienden ongekend. Zweet en tranen, zij ik rot hier nu maar op. Met bloed, zweet en tranen, zij vrienden, dag vrienden, het boek is op.
There's a dragon inside. You can no longer hide. With a burning desire, rise up from the fire. With the power of truth and the beauty of freedom, reach up for the sky till we see the orange sun. Burning heart, tear me apart, raising me up, up to the orange sun.
Cool.
Blah 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 blah.
Does the QR code actually work?
Do you know what?
I don't.
I was going to try it.
I don't know if it works. I never got to try it because I was too busy. And I was the other side, so it was like a mirror image for me, you know. So yeah. So it was backwards.
I was actually trying to work out what part of Amsterdam that was. I'm guessing it's where it goes. Is it where it goes out into the sea? I'm guessing, is it? Or
that's right at the so the tall building is directly opposite the central station, the central railway station.
Yeah. There used to be a Chinese restaurant, a floating Chinese restaurant there as well. I don't know if it is. So I must be Amsterdam. I just love Amsterdam. It's a great place to go.
Yeah.
It's been certainly watching these videos and you think of that's it. Buy a few drones.
Whether you're a little hobby drone flyer or just want to watch drones, isn't it a brilliant hobby?
Oh, yeah, it's a great look. You know what I do now came from a hobby.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, I'm still a hobby flyer. I still fly. You know, I still go out and capture images and make videos. You know, obviously with the channel anyway. But still,
I'm surprised you do really. Because I mean, to be honest, because it becomes a. I know you enjoy it, you know, and that's the thing. I mean, obviously that the hobby came before the business as it did, didn't it? So
yeah.
But you think so? Wow, it's like drones. Okay, I've done enough drones. I'll just.
Well, I kind of do get that, but still, I do have a passion for it. I do love it, and that's why I love coming on, you know, on here on other channels because I can relate to you all because I still have a passion for flying. I still have a passion to do what I do. I'm sitting here looking at my Air 2S, and I have my Mini 3 Pro over there. You know, I don't have my Mavic 3. My Mavic 3 is now gone to Germany. My other pilot's taken it over to Germany. I don't have that because I haven't tried the new night mode on the Mavic 3 yet. So because I've been away for so long, you know, and I've come back and he's taken it away to Germany. So I've only got a Air 2S, Mini 3 Pro, Mini 2, and the Mavic 2 Pro and the Phantom 4.
Well, the Mini 2, you bought the Mini 2.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Steve.
Was it the Mini 2 that you actually bought when you was out
That's right. Yes, that's right. Yes, that's here. Yeah. That's here.
So my question, Stephen, is about a while back. It's been probably over a year ago. You did some testing of some augmented reality headset.
Yep.
Has there been any progress on that?
Oh yes, it's still going very strong. And when I eventually come over to the US, I'll bring it with me so you can try it out.
Oh, bad. That's
for
awesome.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Because I mean, they've gone more into the kind of, let's say, military and search and rescue side. But yeah, they're still going strong because I do work for them as well. So I work as a consultant for them. So I'm an advisor. So yeah, they're still going strong. I'll have to go and visit them next week because I haven't seen them for months. So I have to go and chat the door and see how they're doing. But I've seen some videos and I've seen what they're doing and stuff. So I'll have to make time to go and see them. But it's a pleasure to be here as always, guys. It's always good to come and speak with you.
Well, the time goes every time we come on the show. The time goes so quick. We have lots to talk about.
Yeah, of course.
And Gary's gone now. He said he's very interested, but he has duty calls.
So I didn't have time to get to my McVitie's yet.
Oh, have you got your McVitie?
I was waiting for that, Marcus. I was waiting for that.
Jaffa cakes.
Oh, yes.
I'll have a bourbon cream, please.
Next week.
Jaffa cakes.
I prefer the Jaffa. I love Jaffa cakes.
I'm going to order some of those now, Terry. You got me going.
I had a yard of them. A yard of Jaffa cakes for Christmas.
I was going to say there's only one problem with Jaffa cakes. You can't eat one.
Oh, I know.
I eat a whole packet.
This was actually the good thing about being in Qatar is that the supermarkets there are filled with British stuff, so you can just eat and live on British things. Biscuits and everything else. It's all stuff from the UK, which is great. So there's all the Jaffa cakes and the McVitie's.
Well, what surprised me, I was actually reading about this because obviously, I mean, you think because it's like where it is. I mean, looking at the average wage in Qatar is around about £4,000 ish a month on average. Wow. However, you think, but everything. Things are not more expensive; they're about the same as they are in the UK.
Yeah,
I think fuel was actually cheaper. Surprise!
Well, fuel is very cheap. Accommodation's cheap as well.
Yeah,
apparently,
if you rent a private rent an apartment in Qatar, actually in the city itself. Is quite expensive. You go slightly outside and it's a lot cheaper, a lot cheaper. We're looking at all this and I'm going, well, that's not fair.
Well,
but there we are. Yeah. Right. Okay. Well.
Hey, so I just need to get this straightened out with Terry. Terry, I can order a package of 20 Jaffa cakes, McVitie's, for $3.79. I'm thinking that's a pretty good deal.
That's a good deal.
Good. That is excellent. Yeah. Oh, yes.
That's very good. There's never 20 in the packet, though, surely, is it?
Oh, no. Here's the catch. $11 for delivery, so it's not.
I got mine for free.
Christmas
present, yeah.
Well, I want to get some Jaffa cakes. I haven't got any Jaffa cakes, so I'm going to have to go with that. Anyone got any Jaffa cakes, you can send me. Or email them over.
3 Pro, if that's any good.
Yes, yeah. Apparently,
I found a better deal. $13.79 for a pack of 30, free delivery.
No, you can't. You can't go. You can't get fairer than that, can you? Jaffa-tastic. Jaffa-tastic.
Terry was saying he's got a crack on his mini 3 Pro. He's actually got a crack appeared on the near the motor. It's like a stress-related crack by the sound of it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about. I think I crashed it last time we were out, Jackie.
Well, that'll do it.
Right.
That's usually the case. If you crash it, it will have a bit of stress on it. You see, I usually think that if you sit and talk to the drone for too much, and you say, "I'm going to put you up so high tonight, I'm going to send you really, really far," and you put pressure on it, that's not the kind of pressure it needs.
That will do it, Mr. Terry. That will do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I
looks like
found
it.
there's
That
a
looks like you've
place
been trying
in
to store for it.
Brussels.
I thought you said he's in a crack because it was like a bloke been soaring.
No,
for it.
it still flies. But I found a place in Brussels that will supply a spare arm in 2 days' time.
Excellent.
For
Okay.
24
repair then.
euros. But I got me.
Terry, before you do that, though, check
Yes.
with DJI because very possibly it's cheaper to send it to a DJI repair facility and be less expensive, right? Getting it completely.
I mean, the only thing
renewed.
with replacing that arm yourself, Terry, I mean, there's a bit of soldering involved in it.
No, I've done it. I've done it all before, Steve. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I've got all the minute stuff. No problem.
No problem at all.
No problemo.
Right.
It's no problem.
Folks,
It's no
time to go
problem.
home.
It's no problem.
No problem. So thanks for joining us all. Stephen, thanks for coming on. Been excellent
Thank you.
as always. And we wish you just check Fly By Guys YouTube channel. Obviously we show it in 720. Trust me, those videos are much better quality on there, so check it out. Like and subscribe if you want to. Insist, in fact.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you all again soon and find out what you're doing, Stephen, and keep in touch. And we'll see you all next week. Take care.
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Bye bye.